Alright, Shalom. Alright, this is going to be just like another quick lesson. It's like an installment of truth hacks. Alright, and like right now, I'm going to discuss, just like a quick amount of like precepts or things in the book of Genesis in general, on touching, like the main spiel we get like from like Egyptologists in general. Right, as far as like they say that the scriptures aren't real because it's based on like Egyptian like books, Egyptian mythology, right, Egyptian writings, right, and not only right, the Egyptians, Mizraim, like they're like a lot of scholars, you know they claim like just like Indian literature, which is Elam, like what is that, the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and like all that madness. Alright, they say that that was like written before the Bible, so it has more credibility and validity. Alright, but it's like just like not necessarily like it's like a lot of like precepts that'll like get through to them, like if you have to deal with that. Alright, but this is just more of alright, just some precepts that can like build up like your spirit, as far as like not like it's kind of this these are some like break falls when you like fall over that like stumbling block. All right, and then I'm gonna bring these out and then explain them. Okay. All right, so first we're gonna get all right, Genesis 10:1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. So we know, on this go around, all right, the scriptures of course say that all these nations came out of the three sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right, the Egyptians came out of Ham. All right, and just like us, like the Elamites, all right, they came out of Shem. All right, so of course, just think about this. Like if you're like if a father has more than one child, like each sibling, like they're gonna hear like all the same story. They're gonna all get to some extent get passed down, like the same stories. All right, the same like some of the same laws, tales, all right, belief systems, all right, that they were passed on like through their if they like share a forefather, or but we all know like even like through the Lord, there's always like one remnant of people that He's always been like dealing with. So everybody else, all right, just doesn't get just doesn't get the whole thing. They might get like even with you can even see that with like all these camps. They all originated out of one West. All right, but the Lord wasn't dealing like with all those members and heads of camps that started doing their own thing. He was always doing with that one remnant. Or for example, it's like IUIC, like they share the same like 12 tribes chart. Like if you ask them about the tribes and everything, like they'll be able to edify you as far as the prophecies in Genesis chapter 49. As a matter of fact, when I was in that window shopping stage, like that video that Nate and Banyamyan did, that was one of the first videos where I got like the 12 tribes breakdown from. All right, but but does that mean, all right, that does that mean that the Lord's dealing with them, or that you should follow them instead of GMS? No. Or same, to some extent, like same thing, like with this. All right, just because like well, the Egyptians said don't steal and don't kill. That means that like we got that from the Egyptians. That's not the case. They just had some of the same, right, traditions like passed on. All right, but not all of it. All right, it's kind of like right, they get the leaven, they get the leaven for the bread and the bone with the meat just by default. That's all that is. All right. All right, Saki. All right, this is another quick one. All right, Genesis 14:1. All right, and it actually get okay, because it also says that just gonna skip down to 22 real quick. All right, Genesis 10:22. All right, the children of Shem, Elam and Ashur, and Arphaxad and Lud and Aram. All right, and so it says, yeah, Elam is like the first name, like mentioned, and then like Ashur, which is the Assyrians. So they were probably just like born before Arphaxad, one of our main like forefathers. All right, so when you're like born for first and all that, are you or you just have like more time to just like establish yourself like as a nation, as a people, as a culture, or either just like being prominent, having your own just like literature and all that. All right, because as far as us like receiving this like we've always had like the knowledge and everything like that, just not the it's not the just like the concrete writings. We didn't get this, at least like the first 5 books, until like Moses, Moses like wrote this all down. All right, but right, it doesn't mean that the Lord was dealing, but the Lord was dealing with Moses, not anybody else who had their like documentations and records and laws before him. It's lucky. All right, and here's like another like quick one. All right, Genesis 14:1. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elasar, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Bera, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, king of Gomorrah. All right, and so right, there was all these it's like the main point, the reason I brought this up is because there were like it's like all types of like prominent nations and everything like that. And this is the time of like just like Abraham and all that. All right, but like they were of course like they were. I was just bringing that out to prove that they had like the only reason why all these heathens have like literature older than ours is because they were they were established before we were. And that's just one thing to keep in mind when it's like people try to present that stumbling block to you. Alright, so we're gonna close it out with alright, this is Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. Or and that's not the case like right now, because we're as the sand of the sea. All right, but we weren't as we also weren't as prominent. All right, and established. Like we started out, as pretty much like nomads and things like that. All right, and just being in like various like captivities. All right, but it's all about it's all about like at the end of the day, like it's all about who like the Lord like is right decides to deal with. All right, and even says like in this not that many like mighty are chosen. Or all right, but that that's all that is. All right, and then all right, verse 8. All right, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out of so I brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. All right, so as far as like Egypt and everything, he he's not like dealing with that. It's just like a little, it's like a quick something to keep in mind, or just like meditate on. That's something, as far as when people are, because we had an Egyptology guy come up a couple years ago, never came back. All right, but we that kept us on our toes, as far as like we prepared like things that we did research on things that would like debunk like carbon dating and things like that. All right, but as far as that's just when people try to tell you as far as like like Hinduism, Egyptology, right, and heathen like literature, like the Epic of Gilgamesh and everything like that. The only reason like why those things would predate the scriptures was because those nations were established like first. But the thing is, like, the Lord is not dealing with those nations. All right, so it doesn't really matter when all right, the actual volume of the book came out, because the word, all right, the words all right came first. All right, and it's going to continue to surpass like anything outside of it. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom.